I think there's three things that truly affect an organization's ability to scale. That's past, permission, and perfection. Let's learn a little bit more. That's this week on the Badass Agile podcast. Greetings, team. Welcome to the Badass Agile podcast. I'm your host, Chris Williams. Welcome back, friends. Great to see you. I enjoy this topic because if you know me, you know I'm really fond of saying there are no agile problems, only human problems, which implies that it's not our processes, not our understanding, not our accumulation of knowledge, rather our accumulation of experience that will create success in spreading agile in an organization. But before we dig into it, let's take a moment to remember why we're here. To create an elite tribe of leaders who truly serve their clients and communities by doing what matters and what works, relentlessly chasing value and excellence like a badass. There's so many resources out there about what you need to do to be agile, but we focus on who you need to become in order to lead teams. So let's hammer down those fundamentals to create a truly unique and powerful force in the industry. Remember, if this episode helps you, please share it with your friends. You should also check us out on YouTube. Links in the show notes below. And if you'd like to become an elite badass leader yourself, don't forget about our Forge program. We'll be doing a new induction in the fall of 2022. And also, you can bring me into your organization through the Forge Professional, which is a 12-week condensed version of the Master Forge program. And don't hesitate to reach out if you'd like to hire me to speak or to consult for your organization. Now, scaling frameworks. That's what we need, right? That's how we're going to scale agility, this wonderful thing that was designed for small entrepreneurial groups, and bring it to the masses. Here's what I think. I think if process were what we needed more of, we'd be all done by now. In fact, if it was nothing but process that we needed to teach, then frameworks would be getting smaller and less complex over time, not more complex. As scaling frameworks or frameworks of any kind grow, they seek to include and prescribe for an increasing number of situations, complexities, and differences. And that's why they get so big. That's why you need 14 different 5-day courses just to get your head around it. But this is the truth. You have never had a problem in your Agile team room that didn't boil down to some kind of human problem. It could have been a person's difficulty with change. It could have been a person's attachment to a certain way or to a certain outcome. It could have been a person's discomfort with releasing their work into the world because they're not 100% sure that it's ready yet. These are the 3 Ps that stand in the way of any agile enterprise. Let's walk through them. When dealing with humans, especially at scale, especially in large organizations, and this is my obsession, I love the problem of high performance at scale. You're going to see a high degree of attachment to our past. This is not a fault of Agile. This is not a fault of large organizations. This is not a fault of an individual person. This is something that we all struggle with. We all like things to be the same way they were yesterday. We love consistency. We love certainty. We love predictability. But that attachment to the past will keep us from doing what? Growing, stretching, trying new things. And aren't those things essential to coming into a team room and shaking up the way we deliver stuff? If you're attached to the certainty of old things, whether that's your documentation, whether that's your antique project plan, maybe it's your command and control hierarchy, if you're stuck on any of those things and you need them in order to function, if you insist on them in order to proceed, you're going to have blockers. And those blockers are going to be very sticky, and it'll be really tough to get traction and drive out of that rut. To make matters worse, you can't solve this problem with logic or reason. You can't pie chart or script your way into getting people more comfortable with a different future. Now, there will be certain aha moments that you can drop on them, like this. You can say, if the way that we've always done things was getting the results that we really wanted, I wouldn't be here today, nor would you. We wouldn't be sitting in an Agile team room. We are trying to meet the future where it is. We're trying to grow and evolve our practice. You can give lots of examples about extinction versus evolution. You can show shiny examples of companies that thrived where others completely failed or vanished because they refused to change. But here's the thing. The best way to make people comfortable with change is to get them into the water and show them that nothing bad happens. If you know me well or you've been through the Forge, you know I believe in something called value matching, which means your values have to come first. If I can find a way to make your values and my values match, we have a shot of collaborating and working together. So there's no harm in asking a person what's important to them. What do they value? You might find out that they really value certainty and safety. That would be no surprise for someone who's struggling with letting go of the old ways of doing things. And if that's what you discover, you could say, great, me too. I like things to be certain and safe. And here you can offer some ideas, like, if I could find a way to do things completely differently, lose the business requirements document, drop the 150 signatures, and still ensure that nobody loses their job, that nobody suffers damage to their reputation, would you be interested in hearing about it? That's really hard for someone to say no to. Think about someone saying, no, I don't want to hear about it. And then it's on you to create an iterative process in which we take small, comfortable risks, in which nobody signs off on anything except a product owner. And even if we get it wrong and we fail, there are no bad consequences because we've been iterative. All we've lost is a week or two. Your best bet here is not to try to smooth talk, persuade, or lawyer your way to getting people to be more comfortable with letting go of the past and doing things in a new, exciting, and scary way. It is rather to say, grab my hand. If anything goes wrong, I've got you covered. If anything goes wrong, tell them it was my idea. And let's you and I walk through this so that you can feel the difference. If nothing happens, when we don't get the 150 signatures, then we're more likely to trust in a future model where we don't need signatures at all. This leads me to my next point, permission. Signatures are a form of permission, but it's bigger than that. A great many people, when you meet them, that struggle and resist Agile change and have the hardest time on Agile teams are those who believe that they don't have the permission to do what we're proposing. Let's push decisions down to the team. Make a decision today. Well, who says I'm allowed to do that? If we're not sure what to build, let's build what our instinct tells us is best and validate it as soon as we possibly can. Well, who says I'm allowed to do that? Let's leap. In the absence of all the information, let's build something. Let's be bold and daring and release. Well, who says we're allowed to do that? The legacy of an employee mindset that says, I trade my time for your money, leads us to believe that that transaction comes with a condition, that you get to tell me what to do. Managers and leaders can direct work, but they're not looking to gatekeep every decision you make with a rubber stamp. They want you to be autonomous ultimately. They want to be able to trust you. They want to leverage your instinct, your gut, your intuition. All the years of your learning and experience have brought you here today. I should want you to refine those instincts by trying and failing. And my commitment as a leader should be, when those failures happen, there are no negative consequences. If we can do that, we can get rid of permission mindset and permission culture. Finally, here's the last one. Perfection. I've never met a human being who doesn't struggle with a little bit of perfectionism. A hesitancy to put something out there until we know it's right. To groom and to smooth and to polish and to Photoshop things until we think they're acceptable by the masses. We simply don't want to be seen as creating inferior work. We don't want to be known for our incompetence, our inability. The reality is this: you are, wherever you are, in whatever journey you're going through. If you're trying to become a better speaker, you are where you are today. And even though you're improving bit by bit, nothing can change where you are in this moment. If you're trying to become more open-minded, less judgmental of new ideas, you are where you are today. If you're trying to build muscle, nothing can give you giant arms or shoulders. In this precise moment, you are where you are today. It's the arc that you're riding on that's interesting. It's the growth that you're encouraging and experiencing that puts you on the mastery path. But if you're expecting to get to mastery before you show your works to the world, you will never show anybody anything. And here again, the solution is what? The solution is to grab them by the hand and say, I will protect you from harm. I will protect you from the cost and consequence of failure. But it is only through the failure that we can grow. As I like to say, muscle only grows when you tear it. We too must be prepared for the discomfort of putting something out there that's not critically acclaimed, of not hitting a home run every time you get up to the plate. The failure is inherent in the process, and in fact, it's the facilitator of the process. The only way to make people comfortable with failure is to let them do it and see that nothing bad happens. Every organization that I meet, I sometimes do a little presentation and I mention what is required of managers and leaders in order to effectively implement and benefit from agility. One of the sections is on loving failure. And invariably, I meet one person who tells me, I really enjoyed your slideshow, but could you remove the word failure? Now that's a sign, that's an indicator that there's something about showing up as less than perfect that really bothers us. But if you want to get agility much less at scale, we have to find a way to help people be comfortable with it. So you see here, no amount of process can nudge you into taking risks that you're not comfortable taking. No amount of process, no description, no meeting protocols, no sequencing of events can make you let go of your belief that you aren't good enough unless somebody else permits you or authorizes you to do things or make decisions. And no template, tool, or technology will make it easier for you to part ways with the certainty and the comfort of the past. The only way to do it, and the only way to find greatness as a leader in changing legacy cultures and make scaling easier to even give it a shot in the first place, is to be that guide. Never judging, never forcing, but simply meeting people at the moment they become ready to let go of the past, to let go of permission, and to let go of perfection. And if you're worried that they won't get there fast enough, your job is to help inspire and encourage them to find that moment for their own right reasons. My friends, I hope this inspired and informed you. You can find me at badassagile.com, on Instagram and TikTok at badassagile. Don't forget to look for my YouTube. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, stay badass.